What I'm going to focus on today is a lot from my book, Swag. This is a book I wrote years ago. You guys probably have it. And if you don't have it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the ebook. I'm going to give you the ebook from today. I'm going to give you the audio. I'm going to give you this video. I'm going to give you the interview that me and Dr. Hotze did, my doctor in Houston, which I think is one of the #1 immune doctors in the world. I really want you to watch this interview because he really educates you on what's going on from a practical perspective. All I need you to do if you're on this is just email Laken, that's Laken, at coachburt.com. Laken at coachburt.com. And I'm going to give you all these things. The ebook, the audio. Okay, there she's typing it in right now. Laken at coachburt.com. A lot of people mess her name up. They call her Lincoln. Laker. They don't, it's Laken, Laken. And I'm going through a process right now where my wife is begging me to give a name to our new son. We're having a son May 28th. And my wife went to the doctor the other day and said, I am scared to death that my husband will not be in town when I have this baby. And the doctor said, well, we can solve that problem. You're going to have that baby on May 28th. And Coach Burt's going to be in town for 4 days. But my wife wanted to name our son Bravery. And I said, man, it's an interesting name, Bravery Michael Burt. I'm not opposed to it, but it's a little bit different. But, you know, a lot of people mess up Laken's name and a lot of people misspell my name, so I understand. So Laken. All right. Here's our objective today, guys, and thank you for joining. I've had a long, good relationship, Tony, with you and Willem, and believe in you and watched you and proud of you. And Eric, I'm glad to meet you. But my whole life has been spent studying confidence. Okay, over the last 25 years, it's one of the #1 things that I've studied because I recognized very early as a basketball coach that a confident player would try anything that I asked them to do. An insecure player would any time of fear would contract and retreat. And what I'm seeing now are business people do that. The #1 thing most people are doing are contracting. When you hear me use the word expanding, big time people never contract, they only expand. Now, when I say expansion, I don't mean you got to spend money to expand, although there's lots of money who are still spending. Lots of people still spending money. I spent money last week on getting a new book deal. I spent $17,000 to get a new website. Like I'm still spending money, just like I was last week. Now, I may cut out a lot of things and cut down to essential spending, but there are people still investing money. And we're selling events because we're in the event business like you are. We can't, you know, I'm a speaker. I speak for a living. All of my events in April were canceled. So what we had to do is now we're selling future events. Okay. So I told my wife, go back to every person who has ever rented from us because we got these high-end luxury real estate properties around the country. Sometimes it's $10,000 to $14,000 a week to rent these things. We're having to refund those people's money. So it's $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 we've had to refund. I've got a buddy that owns 3 that had to refund $100,000. And what I told my wife is go to all the people who've ever rented our place, call them and tell them if they'll book it right now, pay 50% down, that we'll give them a 30% discount. Because they want to come back and do it. Like I see in my business, like your business, I want you to get your mind. I sell it today. Like I sell a coaching summit today, we're going to collect a percentage of money. We may collect a deposit, but I'm continuing to put events on the books for later, May, June, July, August, September. And go ahead.
All right, I have a question for you. So how long do you think this X is going to be? Because that is the problem that I have. Is it May? Is it June? Is it July? What is that time span? What is the X? Is it? What do you think about that?
Well, you know what? I've got my financial advisor watching Trump daily and giving me feedback. And I think one of the interesting things that Trump is doing, I just talked to one of my top financial strategists, and he says that if Trump does bail out a lot of the major industries, that they may do so and by getting equity in the companies they bail out. Now, I want you to think about that. If the government, which I think is a genius move, if the government was to go in and bail out Royal Caribbean and buy the stock or get an equity position at this place, and then it comes back, right, that could produce millions, if not trillions of dollars that could decrease the deficit in the United States. I mean, think about that. I mean, that's a business move, right? That's a smart business move. So to answer your question, I still have events, Willem, on the schedule that I have not canceled as early as May 7th. I have events May 7th through the 9th that I'm still selling tickets to, and I'm selling tickets to it. These are high ticketed events, $5,000. So we're still selling tickets. And I've had people tell me I will drive to the event, whatever I got to do to be there, coach, because I want you to think about this. We have a group watching our short-term rentals, our real estate space. And here's what they're saying. Although we may lose some money right now in the short run, by people not booking, by watching the trends, because they've been through these recessions before and these parts before, is that they believe as soon as there's a lift that people will flock like crazy to these properties because they believe they deserve a vacation. They've been locked up. And they said what we'll actually see is almost 100% occupancy in times that we wouldn't have 100% occupancy because people are gonna want to go. So they're saying you're going to take a dip right now, but then what's going to happen is it's going to come back, and when it comes back, it's going to come back strong. So
So, and I got the same from my advisor. But he says 2 to 3 weeks, and that seems very short to me. But this is his 8th recession. He's 74 years old, super genius guy. I can't believe that. This is difficult for me to believe that it can be that short.
I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's personally going to be that short. Now that's me, but I do think it could flip at some point soon. People could get tired and bored with it. People could move on. But my stance is I haven't canceled those events in the next, like I said, a month away. I'm going to keep those on the books as long as I can, and I'm going to continue selling them. Okay. Now, so my point to you is we haven't changed anything in my office. We're still working our selling system every day. We're still making 80 outbound calls. We're still calling on people. We're still trying to sell things. We're still putting events on the calendar for later this year, but my stance on the Florida property, and this would kind of be my stance in your industry, is people that you have as recurring customers or people that do things every year, could you go to them and incentivize in some way to go ahead and get it on the books, to go ahead and take action? Now, here's the thing I also want you thinking about. If I call Eric Dooley or Corey McCoy and let's say that they want to do something with me, but they're only doing essential things right now. Like I called on one business owner and we were working on a deal with each other, and he said, we've cut everything to non-essential spending, but as soon as we get out of this, we're going to book something with you, coach. That was not a wasted phone call on my part. Just because he didn't do something that day, I'm sowing the seed. I'm hanging in there with all these people. I was calling people in California this morning that want to do deals with me, saying they're asking me the same thing. And I'm saying, hey, when you do the event, when you do it this fall, I want to be the first person you call. I'm going to be right there with you. So my stance has been, we're still working our selling system. We're still making 80 phone calls per salesperson. So Eric White's making 80, Lakin's making 80, and I'm in there making calls every single day too, just as if it's the same thing, because to me, that's the number one thing. So let's talk about this mindset. I believe the reason a person has doubt is because they have a double vision. I want you to think of doubt the reason I have doubt is I got two visions that are competing with each other. I got vision number one, which is go, do, create, pray, drive is high, right? That's my first vision. Then I have vision number two, this other road, which is insecure. No, it ain't worked. The world's falling apart, right? Now, because I got double vision, I don't take action. If you study the word decide means to cut away. It means to take away, to kill. So what you're doing when you're deciding is you're killing one decision. Okay, I'm taking away that road. I'm burning the ships. So I don't have two visions. I only got one vision. And the one vision is go, create, manifest. So when you're thinking about this, I think about King David in the Bible. If King David would have known all the adversity he was going to face when he became king, he'd probably said, hey, don't sign me up for that, right? Like, I'm not interested in that. But he had a mindset. And the mindset I'm trying to instill in all the companies I'm coaching is this. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. Okay. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to find a way to win. Okay. Some of us are learning, and I think this is a big takeaway for your industry and my industry. Some of us are learning that we need to diversify our product suite, and we need to have multiple products. Okay. And that's what I was telling Tony before I got on. If all I did was speak and I only had one flow of income and the speaking was taken away, I'd be in trouble. But we've got online academies, webinars, boot camps, right? Coaching programs we can do virtually, real estate. I've got money in different parts of the market. So what I've tried to do is diversify my portfolio so that when something happens and we can't anticipate what would happen, we have a plan. We can still generate revenue. We can still sell. Okay. Now, when you think about this, I want you to get 3 mindsets in your mind. These are 3 mindsets of successful people. Okay. These are 3 mindsets because in some ways, this challenge we're facing has awoken us out of a slumber that we may have been in. Okay. When you study prey drive, instinctual ability to see something and go get it, the number 1 suppressor of prey drive is comfort, complacency. It's good. People spending money. It'll never go away. Like, right? That suppresses prey drive. Satisfied needs never motivate, only unsatisfied needs. So what happens is when our basic needs are met, hey, we're having events, people are spending money, we're good, we begin to lull. So what do we not do? We're not calling on our past clients. We're not following up 7 to 15 touches. We're not trying to find ways to incentivize. We're not driving leads. And then something happens, it's like, boom, now we're in trouble. And what that tells me is I don't have a healthy immune system in my business. And I'll come back to that in just a second. Okay. So here's 3 principles I live by. Number 1, we go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. We go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. Notice I didn't say we go to bed with a bunch of energy and we wake up lazy. We go to bed tired. That implies, right, that we have put forth maximum effort today. Okay. Maximum effort today. We have put everything in and we go to bed tired and wake up hungry. Now, let me tell you why this is critical. When I was a basketball coach, I would win on Tuesday night. Our players would read the newspaper on Wednesday about how great they were. We get all puffed up. It's called false positive, by the way. We believe we're better than what we are. We get lazy on Wednesday, have a half-ass practice on Thursday, and then guess what happened on Friday? We'd get beat. And then everybody would sit around the locker room and cry and scream. Why did we get beat? Then we'd have to come in on Saturday morning at 4:30 in the morning. Then everybody was mad at each other. And guess what we did on Tuesday? We got there and kicked somebody's butt on Tuesday. And I would say to my players, why did we have to lose to wake up? Why did we have to go through all of this to get remotivated? See, you got to understand this principle. We go to bed tired and we wake up hungry. Success don't care what you did yesterday. Cares what you did today. So I got 2 options right now. I could sit at home, complain, whine, pout, feel sorry for myself, or I can take action. What do you think cures doubt? Action cures doubt. See, the more afraid I become, no matter what it is, if I'm not hitting my sales numbers, guess what I do? I never contract. I expand. I create more programs. I make more calls. I hit my customers more. I create, right? Like I've been doing free webinars for all of my clients to keep them motivated. We've generated almost probably 500 leads in the last week and a half by me doing webinars. I want you to think about that. Here's what I said. I'll do a webinar anytime, any place for anybody who needs it. I've gone to all the big companies that I've worked with and said, I'd be happy to do webinars for you to keep your people motivated, especially if they're working from home. And what we're doing is we're just generating leads and leads and leads and leads. Now, we're going to call those people. We're going to initiate a conversation. We're going to disarm through connection. We're going to locate a significant problem. We're going to offer a solution. Some of those people are going to say, well, I'm scared. I'm not spending any money. It's okay. Hey, we got a $49 product right now. You can get in my online academy for $49 a month. And that includes a Monday call with Coach Burt. I just see it as a value ladder. Like come in at $49 a month and get weekly coaching from me. Right? And then once you get in there, maybe you want to come to a retreat with me. Maybe you want to go to a boot camp with me. Maybe you want to bump up with me. Maybe you want one-to-one coaching with me. Like once you get in there, then we get you going. But the whole point is we got to get you going, right? So how do you generate leads during this period? Okay. So we go to bed tired. We wake up hungry. Number 2, this is maybe my favorite one of everything. It all goes to zero at midnight. You got to tell yourself, guys, that it all goes to zero at midnight. Now, different people have different philosophies on money, okay? About when you generate money, how to reinvest that money. I do not feel comfortable myself, okay, where I am in my life, if I do not have at least $500,000 of cash on hand, okay? Now, that's me personally, okay? If I don't have $500,000 of cash, I don't feel comfortable, okay? And I'm a conservative person. So what I do when I get below $500,000, I get nervous. So if I'm above $500,000, I feel okay. But here's what I tell myself. It all goes to zero at midnight. Okay. It all goes to zero at midnight, guys. There's nothing. Here's what I tell myself. Ain't nothing in there. And if you tell yourself this every night, what do? You go to bed tired and you wake up what? Hungry. One of the number 1 motivators for people, if you study psychology, is fear. Fear motivates people to take action more than anything in the world, okay? Fear of what? Fear of losing everything. Fear of losing the house you live in. Fear of losing the truck you drive. Fear of vacation where you want to go, okay? And I tell people I've worked 25 years to get to where I am today, okay? I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose all these things that we built because we've worked hard for them. So that motivates me to have that mindset of David. It's going to be a fight, but by God, I'm going to find a way to win. And that's all there is to it. No matter what we have to do or how we have to do it, okay? Number 3 principle you need to live by. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. Winter's coming whether you're ready for it or not. Now, how do I know if you have a successful business? Okay, if we're looking at our event business right now and we were dissecting that business, what would be an easy barometer to know if it's successful? For me, it's this. You have built a business. You built a sales machine behind that business, right? You have here's what you would have in place. Okay, here would be a healthy immune system of your event business. Your prey drive is activated, means what? You're hungry. You wake up every day hungry. Number 2, you got a world-class explanation of services. Number 3, you've got a selling system that you're using, and I'm going to be doing a webinar tomorrow on the whole selling system because we have a concentrated set of actions we take every day. They're pre-planned. They're worked during certain times of the day. We're guaranteed we're prospecting probably 5 hours a day on nothing but new money every single day. If I own an event business, I'd be doing that right now every single day. I got a selling system. I've got $1 million follow-up, meaning I've got an incredible 7-touch follow-up on people that have indicated interest. I've got a way to extract referrals out of my current business. Like, this is a great time for you to be checking the immune system of your business. Do we have a selling system in place? Do we have a 7-touch follow-up? Are we extracting referrals out of our current client base? Do we have a person of interest strategy to become a known quantity in the world? Where's our marketing at? Like, this is a time I've been evaluating everything. I've been evaluating every part of my business. That ain't working. That ain't working. This is working right. This ain't working. How can we do this better? So the immune system, okay, if you listen to some of the top doctors in the world, there's a 98.2% survival rate of this virus. Okay, that's a pretty high survival rate of people that get it. Okay, now think about the old days when we called it chicken pox. Any of y'all catch chicken pox? I called it the chicken pox. I had it for a week or 2 weeks. Everybody in my family called it. We got it out of our system, and then they ain't never got it again. Okay, and the other day my wife was like, "Why don't we all just catch it? Right? If there's 98.2% chance of survival, why don't we all catch it, get it out of our system, and move on?" Okay, because here's the deal: if we tested everybody in Houston, Texas. Okay, if we tested everybody in Houston, Texas, I guarantee you'd see an increase. You'd find something wrong with every one of them, number one. You'd see an increase in every single problem. You'd see an increase in every single number. But here's what you'll find out. As the number increases, their survival rate still stays at 98%, may even go up to 99%. So what you got to see is, my doctor told me this: if you have a healthy immune system, right, taking your vitamins, doing everything you should be doing, the stronger your immune system is, the less likely any kind of virus is going to hurt you. Well, your business has an immune system, right? And the immune system of your business is activated prey drive, explanation of service. I got a great selling system. I'm making X number of calls per day. I got a great follow-up. I got a great extraction of referral plan, and I'm trying to get 5.7 referrals out of every transaction. Okay, and that's my immune system. Okay, now if I grew up on a farm, I don't know if any of you grew up on a farm, but I grew up in Tennessee, and my single mama sent me to live with my grandparents for a week because I was hard to handle, and I worked on the farm for a week, and guess what? They paid me 50 cents for a week's worth of work, but we had a rule on the farm is that every day them animals had to be fed. My grandmother used to say, it don't matter if it's sleeting, snowing, raining, hailing, the world's falling apart, them animals have to be fed every day. Okay, now, what's the point of view? If you're not doing money-generating activity every day, if you're not calling on new money every day, now, you may tell me, well, ain't nobody buy anything right now. That's a response to your stimulus. That's a consideration. Okay, if I was doing events, you should be calling on me. I may tell you I'm not got any plan right now. That still don't mean you shouldn't stimulate. See, between stimulus and response is a space, and in that space lies my ability to choose my response. If I called on Willem today and tried to sell him my coaching services, and he said, I don't want your coaching services, that's his response to my stimulus. That shouldn't keep me from calling on him. You understand what I'm saying here? Like I should still be calling him. I can't control his response. All I can control is his stimulus. Do you know within the past week, I pitched $200,000 coaching packages to people? Okay. It didn't stop me from pitching it. All they can say is, no, I'm not doing it. Or why don't you downgrade me to another package? Or right. These are both high net worth individuals. I'm like, hey, here's a package for you that includes this, and this. What do you think about it? Well, I like this. Well, I don't like this. Listen, a consideration, confident people. This is important. Confident people have removed considerations from their life. And what I mean by that is I live in the South, and I was taught that to be considerate. And that I'm not saying that. A consideration is an internal thought that prohibits you from taking an action. You are considering something. So right now in your industry, you may say, well, nobody's going to take my phone call. Nobody's going to book any event. Nobody, even if I give a discount, it won't work. Those are all internal hesitations. Big time people have removed those considerations. Okay. And somewhere along the way, I don't know when it was, but I removed these in mine. I will call anybody, anywhere, anytime. Okay. If Tony gave me Trump's number right now and said, call him, I'd call him. Okay. I mean, I would have no hesitation whatsoever. So what I've been trying to sell my salespeople on is somebody came along and told them that nobody's buying anything right now. So my sales team was just calling and checking on people. Hey, do you need anything? Hey, are you okay? And I'm like, the only person selling anything around here is me. Like I'm making sales every day. Why am I making sales, but you ain't making sales? Because I don't have that consideration. Am I going to check on a person? Sure. How you doing, Corey? What can we do to help you? Have you thought about this? But at the same time, I'm going to say, Corey, the number one thing I think you need to be doing right now is building, maintaining, and protecting your confidence. Now, I got a course for $97 on how to do this that would help your mindset every day you need to be watching. Or I got an online academy for $49 a month where you can get this kind of coaching every day. All Corey can say is, Coach, I'm not interested. Coach, I'm not spending any money. Or Coach, I'm not doing anything. It's okay. Hey, man, I'm going to follow up with you like a professional. When we get through this, and you're going to, then I'm going to be right there with you, man. I won't be plugging in there with you. So when you are ready to make a decision, I don't want you to think of any coach in America except me. Everybody see that? So this is a consideration. So let's stop right there and let me ask some questions. Willem, do you see, because you and Tony are leaders of this group, and I've been following some of the comments, in the group, and some of people's comments right out of the gate is, well, how could Coach Burt help me? I mean, nobody's buying anything, nobody's doing anything. Like we're screwed. And here's what I would tell you: with that mindset, you are screwed. Because ain't nobody going to buy anything from somebody that takes that mindset. Like, why would you even want to be around anybody that takes that mindset? I would be screwed if I sat at home and just did nothing and whined about it. My employees that I have on here that don't want to get laid off would be screwed. Like everybody be screwed if that was my mindset. So my mindset is offense, attack. We'll keep going. It may not work. This may not work because we're changing our product suite every day. Hey, that didn't work. All right, let's try this. Okay. Hey, that didn't work. Hey, let's try this. Okay. That worked. Let's try that. So Willem, what do you think you can do to help the mindset of everybody that's on the call and even in the group? Because I know it's hard to sell this mindset to people, but I'm telling you, there's going to be a separation in this country between people who attack during this period and prosper and people that don't. There's going to be a clear line.
Yeah, I think our biggest problem as a group of the industry is that we never thought that we can go from doing good business to zero. I've always said, this is a recession-proof business. If it goes into a recession, you're going to be okay. I've never thought that we can go to zero sales. So I think probably a lot of these people just feel negative about it, that there's no money coming in. I mean, that was never the expectation. And I think that is what most people, and I myself, struggle that how could it be that we can go from good sales to zero sales?
Yeah.
Never thought that. And I think that's what most people probably struggle with, that we didn't foresee that it can go to zero.
Yeah. And I want to speak to that because nobody saw that. And to your point, you're right. How do you go from selling something to not selling something? So then you start asking, what could we be doing right now? Could we incentivize people to buy in the future? Could we be calling on our current clients and just thanking them and being in their face? Could we be calling on past people, that of everybody who'd ever done something with us? Like, I know it sounds like a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort. But the reality is, I told my team, we should have been doing these things the whole time anyway. We don't need a stimulus. We don't need a problem for us to call on our past clients. We don't need a problem calling our current clients. And I told one of my salespeople the other day, how many people have you helped? Well, coach, I probably sold 400 or 500 people. I said, well, you got 400 or 500 people to call. Now, do you think we can shake loose a sale somewhere between 400 and 500 people? You know, he's looking at it like, oh God, what are we going to do? I'm like, well, how about calling some of them people, 400 people you sold last year? That's what you ought to be doing. And some of them ain't going to answer the phone, but some of them are. Now, the reason I told you the story about me going to Kentucky and spending time with the guy in the warehouse is very important to this equation. Because my mindset is just keep working, keep calling. I don't know how to shake the sugar tree loose. I don't know who's got the sugar tree, but I'm going to keep going until I find it. This guy bought a $299 ticket to come to the event with me and Tim Story. I had dinner with him one night in Nashville a year ago, and with Brad Lee. And Brad Lee basically just told me, hey man, this dude owns warehouse space. That's all he told me. I didn't know anything about him. Well, he buys a ticket, a $299 ticket, and he comes to Shout, but we push Shout back. But he came to Nashville anyway. And he said, hey, I'm in Nashville. Why don't you have dinner with me? This was before they shut everything down. And I was tired and I was worn out. Matter of fact, I was asleep on the couch when he asked me. And I said, you know what? I need to go. I need to go check this out. So I went and had dinner with this guy, built a relationship with him that night, called him the next day, worked him again on Monday, talked to him on Tuesday, continued to talk to him, only to find out he owns 1 million square foot of warehouse space. He's got 30 cars in a collection. He's making millions of dollars, even right now during this period. Like, I would have never known that if I just shut the possibility down. So my tactic and strategy right now, guys, the way I build and protect my confidence is action. I just keep working the system. I got my hit list of people I'm calling on for new money. I got my farm club of people that have indicated interest that I'm working. And if they say I can't do it today, it's okay. I'm gonna stay in your face. I got my top 25 relationships that I'm doubling down on, calling my influencers, doing webinars with people, anything I can do to generate enthusiasm. Okay. I'm still working the same system I was 3 months ago. I'm just working it with a lot more intensity today than I was then. And I had to kick my own butt for not working with that intensity then. Right. So when you think about it, confidence, what I talk about in this book, we're going to give you a copy of this book, by the way. So Corey, you guys that joined us, you just need to email Lakin. And Lakin, make sure you put it in there again, lakin@coachburt.com. If you email her, we're going to give you the book and audio, and we're going to give you a video of this, and I'm going to give you my interview with Dr. Hotze. You really need to watch that interview because it's going to make you feel a lot better. Okay. Just a second ago, Trump came out and said, people are texting me, Trump came out and said, during a town hall, calls for reopening economy by Easter. We have to get it back to work. Okay. So he's pushing to try to get it back before Easter. And listen, we got a businessman running the country, guys. Whether you like him or don't like him, he thinks like a businessman. Okay. And so he's thinking, he don't want the economy to go down any more than y'all do, or I do, right or wrong. He wants to find a way to be a hero here to the economy because it's going to make him look great. So he's got every incentive in the world to push like he can. Okay. Now let's talk about confidence, because I was conditioned. The people who are on here most likely have been conditioned at some point in your life for toughness, right? Like you're tough. I was raised by a single mom who would not let me miss a day of school, who said, we don't whine, we don't complain, we don't make excuses, right? Like she conditioned me to be tough. She conditioned me to be a fighter. Well, most Americans have not been conditioned that way. Okay. My daughter came down the stairs the other day that said, Daddy, you make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I said, no, ma'am, I'm not. It's time for you to get tough. I've been too soft on you around here. I'm going to raise you up to be a weak-minded person. And she whined and pouted and griped for a little bit. Then guess what she did? She made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for herself. Here's the deal. If you haven't been conditioned to be tough during this period, when you get adversity or when you meet adversity, you fold, you crack, you want to quit, you want to give in. So what we need to be selling is this concept of toughness. So what is confidence? Confidence is the memory of success, right? Now, most of you on this call have had ridiculous amounts of success in your industry. There may be a temporary pause in it right now. There may be a temporary hiccup in it right now, but you know how to win, right or wrong. And what you need to do is go back to what you did in the beginning. Think about how hungry you was in the beginning. What were you willing to do in the beginning? Who were you willing to call in the beginning? How many times did you follow up in the beginning? See, what you need to do in the end is go back to the beginning, right? Get in there and work the system that made you successful, because confidence is the memory of success. Okay. It follows practice, it follows repetition, and it follows action. Okay. Confidence is the memory of success. Now, some people are going to say, well, I ain't had any success over the last 2 weeks, but you had 2 years of success. Like, you know how to win, but you've gotten away from, let's just call it what it is. Some of us have gotten away from what helped us win. We quit doing the things that made us great, right? Confidence is also an internal knowing that I can create, I can manifest. Now, let me talk about secondary flows of income for a second. I had a guy call me the other day that said, out of Dallas, Texas, and Willem, you may know him, Matt Monero. And Matt Monero, who wrote the book, You Need More Money, he and I are good friends. And he purchased 57% of a website company that can completely transform a website in 48 hours. Okay. Now, if you've ever redone a website before, I want you to think about how miserable it was and how long it took. And you had to hire all these programmers and you couldn't make any money quick. And well, he found a company that in 48 hours can come in and completely transform your website. And it was, there's no other company out there like this. So he immediately purchased 57% of the company. And then he brought Judge Graham in. Judge sold a company for, I don't know, 40 or 50 million bucks. And Judge is an expert in speed. He's an expert in attacking, right? So we brought Judge in as a consultant. Well, as soon as he told me about this, I immediately said, I want to be an affiliate for you. Okay. I'd like to be an affiliate. And within a day, we had a deal struck where I get 20 to 30% off every person I send them. It only costs $10,000 to completely revamp your website. If I help them sell 100 of those in a year, how much did I just produce? Up to $300,000 more dollars. For really no work on my part other than my influence. Look how fast I came up with an idea to make $300,000. See, the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to get in your brain that a confident person realizes one thing: there is no shortage of money. There is no shortage of opportunity. There is only a shortage of creativity. There's only a shortage of courage. See, when I saw that, boom, I jumped on it. Hey, I'd like to be an affiliate. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about a deal where we can have a deal. Okay. I'll start with 20%, then we'll escalate to 30%, right? As you begin to outsource this to people around the country and your margins improve, good. Bam, we got a deal. Now, here's my point to you. I would have never even thought about that if I didn't believe that definition of confidence. It's an internal knowing that I can find a way to make money. It's an internal knowing that I can create it. And most of the money you're looking for is it already in the networks you already have. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? Like, it's out there and available to you. Okay. I needed to raise about $800,000 for a project a few years ago. And I started out thinking, oh, it's going to be hard. And I was trying to raise it in tranches of $100,000. I was going to raise $100,000 from 8 people. We were going to go buy a $2.4 million building, turn it into a greatness factory, make money. And man, I started out the gate slow. I called this person and said, well, I could give you 50. And this person said, well, I could give you 25. And this person, and I got discouraged. And then I listened to one podcast, and it was Patrick Bet-David. And he was talking about raising capital. I Googled raising capital. I saw one from Patrick Bet-David. He talks about, have you tapped into all your family? Have you tapped into all your friends? Have you tapped into all your network? And I thought of one dude, and I'm like, dang, I ain't called that dude. I called that dude, and within 7 minutes explaining the concept, here's what he said: Coach, I'll give you all $800,000 for it. Now, I want you to think about that. I was sitting there thinking it's going to be hard to raise $100,000 at a time. Oh my God, we're never going to raise $800,000. I called one dude and he said, love the idea. I'll give you $800,000 right now. Now, my point to you is it wasn't as hard as I was making it. It was mental considerations I had and mental blocks I had. All the money you need is in your phone, probably. It's in your network you hadn't tapped into. You haven't worked. You hadn't pushed. Okay. So third thing confidence is confidence is finding your primary skill and distributing that skill to the market. Okay. Now, so what can you be doing right now? What erodes your confidence? This is very important. Okay. And I know we got just a few minutes. What erodes your confidence? Long cycles of no success will erode confidence. Long cycles of no success will erode confidence. All right, let me give you another one. Placing your destiny in another person's hands will erode your confidence. Allowing an external factor to affect your confidence will erode your confidence. Okay, now I know this because if you read my book on confidence, which I'm giving you, you're going to see that at 25 years old, I lost every bit of my confidence. And it was because of one woman. A woman I thought I was going to marry. I bought an engagement ring. She broke up with me. I was devastated. I went through 6 months of depression. And you know why? All of my confidence was tied up in one person. And I swore when I went through that, I will never place my confidence in one thing again. I'll never place it in just my work. I'll never place it in just my wife. I'll never place it in just my kid. I'll never place it in just my employees. Like I diversify my confidence. Like I would tell you to do right now. I diversify. Yesterday, I was buying stocks in 2 banks and a long-term healthcare company. You know why? Because I think right now is a great time to buy those stocks and they're going to bounce up. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm diversifying. Okay. I'm diversifying. Well, I want you to think about diversifying your confidence, guys. I want you to think about diversifying your confidence. If all your confidence is tied up in your event business, and that's the only thing you got going and it ain't working, your confidence is going to be low. If all your events is tied up in one flow of income and that one flow is not working, your confidence is going to be low. You see what I'm saying? Like I look at confidence like I'm feeding my body, my mind, my heart, my spirit, my relationships, my vocation, like I'm feeding it. Your confidence is so hungry that you got to feed it all the time, because here's what I know. If I got 12 things that are feeding my confidence, 6 of them ain't working at the same time. Right? Let's say I left this morning and mama's mad at me. Okay. And let's say my employees are motivated. Let's say this is happening and this is happening. I got to find some way to diversify my confidence so it never dips below a line. Just like I told you, I want X number of cash on hand. I also don't want my confidence to go below that level. It's like on your car. I don't want it to get half a tank. I want to fill it back up. So my mindset during this period, guys, is this. Okay. And then we'll close with this. I'm on offense versus defense. It's going to be a fight, but we're going to win. We wake up, we go to bed tired, wake up hungry. It all goes to 0 at midnight, right? There comes a time when winter, that's what we did all spring and summer. And I'm never going to let an external factor control my confidence. All I can control is my effort, my mindset, my attitude of attack. Okay. And I'm telling you, I'm talking to people that know how to win in this economy. Every day I'm talking to, and every time I talk to a big time person, there has not been one big time person that told me they were contracting during this period. Okay. Not one. Even if people now I understand some people have been laid off. I do understand that. Maybe those people, some of those people that were getting laid off were people that didn't prove to be very valuable. Okay. I'm not going to lay off somebody who's incredibly valuable during this period. Okay. Because they're going to help us make money. So the people who are most in danger to be laid off are people that ain't creating a bunch of value and ain't producing any money. Okay. And so it's like, oh, okay, our budgets are getting tight. We need to get rid of that person over there, because we should have really got rid of that person 3 months ago, but we didn't. So I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm just saying that's just reality, guys. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I want to thank you. I know your industry is used to putting on events and making money. And right now nobody's putting on events because we can't get close to each other. So how do we find a way to win? I hope this has kind of stirred something inside of you. When I get off here, I'm about to do a webinar with 2 guys that manage $6 billion of money. And they're in Houston, Texas. They compete against the big boys. And you better believe I'm going to be asking them, where's the biggest opportunity right now? Because if you guys are managing this much money, you know something. Something you know, right? But they hired me to coach them. So, and you know that since we've been coaching them, they're used to picking up 1 client a month, 12 clients a year. In the first 2 months I started coaching them, they added 2 additional clients. So now they're picking up 3 clients a month. That's a net gain of 24 new clients in 1 year. And if they're managing that much money, they're growing, right? So, you know, we gain in inches. Sometimes we lose in feet. I want you guys to bang in there with me, okay? Because I'm fighting for you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. And listen, we're going to send this to you. So if you want to push it out to your network for all the people that didn't see it, I'm fine with that. Share it and send it. Remember, Lakin@CoachBurt.com will get you all the stuff, the interviews and everything you need. So make sure you text her. I need your name, email, and phone number.
Yeah.
Okay? Make sure you put all 3 of those things in there, because that's what I need from you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.